Hello all, welcome. I'm Satish, and today's topic we are going to cover is search engine optimization. Yeah, it's very important that once we made our blog, we want to get traffic to our blog, right? So, before we go into understanding the technicalities around search engine optimization, I just want to say a couple of things, right? Obviously, search engine optimization is a little technical thing about website, right? So if you do not follow the whole aspect of it, don't get too much worried about it, right? You will eventually get it, like towards the end of the course, or once you start doing it, once you start practicing it, things will become more and more clear, right? So they're going to be a bunch of different things, and I'm going to cover in this session. Just stick with me, right? And I hope this will be of amazing help for you guys, right? So what's actually search engine optimization, right? So most of us type what we want in our Android Google search browser or Chrome, uh, Google search browser at least 50 to 100 times is what I do every single day, right? Even a lot of people even till date use Bing as well, right? So basically, for anybody to discover what they want to accomplish. Let's say today I want to dine out in the evening outside with my family, right? So I'm going to search best dining restaurants in Hyderabad near me, right? And Google is going to throw a bunch of results at me, right? So ideally, search engines are defining the way how people discover things. So it's very important that any form of content or any form of business we are in, we follow the best practices that these search engines use. That means these search engines understand what we are trying to do as a business, and it is our responsibility as marketeers to make them understand so, and to come up on the top of these results is what we are optimizing for. Ideally, we would want to be the first result or the second results for that particular search query, right? So ideally, it's the quality and the quantity of traffic that we are going to get to our page is what we call as search engine optimization, right? So I hope the definition is clear. Let's move on to the next part. So why is that search is so important? Like I said, it's very important part of discovery for human beings. These days, many of the things that we find out are coming from search itself, right? And especially if you're a business, the search traffic what you're getting is going to be the organic traffic, right? And it's free source of traffic. So you do not have to pay to anybody. People just search and end up at your result. That's a great thing to have. The bigger brands, whomever we talk of today, especially if we're talking about Amazon or Flipkart or Netflix or YouTube, everybody gets most of their traffic from search. And currently, after this search, they would install the app, and next time the discovery happens from the app itself, right? So it's a very important phrase for your brand to be discoverable in the search results and to come on the top of search results. Another very important thing is the people who search are very different from the people on Facebook. Let me give you an example, right? So I'll only search for something if I have a need for it. So it is very much intent driven, right? Whereas Facebook is impulse driven. Like you go on Facebook for talking with your friends. You go on Instagram for sharing something cool, some cool pics. But you're on Google when you're searching for something. Your intent is very high. Like if I'm searching for, let's say, a Facebook advertising course, my intent is really high. So these consumers immediately are ready to pay. They are motivated. They are trying to solve that problem. If you have the right solution, then you should come in front of them in the first result or so to increase your chances of sales, right? And so I'm going to show you a bunch of things here. Uh, so if you guys are familiar with, I'm going to open Chrome and SimilarWeb, right? SimilarWeb is a very interesting tool that you can know, any site's traffic volume and traffic source to. It's not 100% accurate, but it's by far the most accurate source. Very similar to Alexa. So let's say I want to check what's the search volume for mydreamstore.in, right? So I'm just searching the search volume for mydreamstore.in, and let's see what result comes up. See, my dream store has lifestyle category rank of 3000 and this thing and traffic overview. Yeah, so we have a traffic of about 1.2 mil. Currently, it's about 7-8 lakhs, right? And majority of the traffic comes from India. But the part we are most interested is in this search part of it, right? Uh, so this means that 21% of the search volume is actually coming to my dream store from organic things. It's from people who are typing the brand keyword or something relevant to t-shirts or other things. So if you are trying to build a brand for a particular search, let's say you're building a hardware device, like a smart wallet, right? Like when I search smart wallet, ideally the percentage of traffic that comes from search should be more for you. So the more this is, that means more people recognize that brand with you. If you type for if you look for bigger brands, it will be really high. Like let's see what happens in case of Amazon, right? So Amazon is category rank 1 and like highly relevant. I believe they're not showing this data. Let's see if something comes up. Yeah, see that direct, because this is all the app traffic that they're getting. But see, 30% of the traffic is actually coming from keywords. You can type other websites here and know what percentage of traffic is. So ideally, our aim is to increase the search volume traffic and be there in the first result for it, right? Also, how does Google know everything that we want to look at? Simple, from our search history. It's well established that they use our search history for showing us suggestions, for showing us advertisements, and everything. The two important words, if you're going to do search engine optimizations, remember that these two important words are going to take your life: relevance and authority, right? So we'll go one by one. What is relevance, right? Suppose, okay, let me just put. Uh, I'm just putting, let's say, learn Facebook advertising, right? So this is my search result in Google. And see, the first thing that I'm getting actually Facebook advertising tutorial by Micah, that's on upgrade, right? And after that, Facebook's links are coming over, right? So ideally, there are two things: uh, the domain authority, like if you're talking about advertising, and if I'm talking about Facebook advertising, it the brand keyword is what actually comes. So see, this advertising on Facebook is what has come, which is the most relevant result to Facebook advertising, right? And achieving your business goals, that's the benefit that Facebook is seeing. So this is the phrase I was searching, and this is the benefit that Facebook is promising me, and they hold the domain name facebook.com. So they're completely optimized for coming on the top for this particular result. Let's say I put up Facebook advertising course. So let's see who comes up on the top now, right? Now the entire thing has changed, right? Udemy has come up on the top even over Facebook. I mean, this is an advertising result, but see this, that the results that they were coming were, there is a blueprint course that has come up instead of something else. And if you go down, there is Udemy's Facebook ads training, and there is Digital Fine. So there's Quora about Facebook ads, right? So based on the query that you're typing, the relevance for this query is changing. So based on the relevance of these keywords, Google is going to show you the right results. The ordering of the results will change, and based on the authority of the domain, that means for a particular domain might be very very relevant for a group of keyword search. Let's say for learning courses, Udemy is a very relevant keyword search, right? So ideally that would come on the top. Or for doing advertising, Facebook and Google are the most used platforms. So those are the domains that are going to come up. So the authority of those domains are going to be high. So the authority of the domain along with the relevance is going to affect the search result in a very very big way. So if we are going to become search optimized, we need to understand how do we increase our relevance, how do we increase our domain authority, right? That's how we are going to increase that. And the way it's going to happen is by increasing the number of backlinks to our website. So so ideally, what do you mean by a backlink? Let me just search. Uh, so basically, a backlink is nothing but a link that is uh, pointing from an authority site to a reference. For example, uh, let's just open this blog, right? Like and see. I'll show you exactly how a backlink works. So see this, right? So this is a link about domain authority, and if you click on this link, it's actually taking to the same site, another page about domain authority. Uh, okay, ideally, the backlink is something that links to that links other site to your site. So let's say Ahrefs Keywords Explorer. Like let me see. Yeah. So a lot of people would be linking their backlink to Ahrefs Keywords Explorer. So because Ahref has got so many backlinks, Google will think that this particular site probably has some content that the users want to search, and maybe this is the right content that we should serve. So the authority increases with the more backlinks that the site holds, right? So the bigger the sites, the bigger the blogs, or the bigger the websites and brands, they generally have higher authority over the scene, right? So I hope this is clear, and it will become more and more clear as we cover more. In fact, so why should we do this search engine optimization? The reasons are very clear. The intent of the consumers is high. You will get free traffic, so you would always want to use that, and you do not want to miss out on having free organic traffic for your brand keyword. That's the longevity way people are going to discover. Even 3 years later, 4 years later, people are going to discover by some form of search on your search engine. So it's a long-term effort, not just a one-day effort sort of a thing. So let me show you how uh, you know. So if you're looking at keyword volume, let's say I'm going to search uh, digital marketing, right? So when I search digital marketing, typically the first thing that's coming out is LinkedIn, and after that it comes HubSpot, then Wikipedia, then Marketo, then Neil Patel. So these are the authority blogs around it, right? But if you see the click volume, the first results are going to have first 10 results are going to have 70% of the volume of the top 10. So in the first page, whatever results are coming, right, out of this, the top 10 are going to have 70% of the clicks. So it's very, very important for us to be in the top results of, search engine, right? So having said this, we have established what's the definition of SEO and uh, why we should do SEO. Now I'm going to run you through a checklist. So we're going to have three set of checklists. Like first set of checklist is the technical checklist. So even before we start SEO, there are certain basic things that we should do with our blog. I'm going to show you practically how we should do it. There are 5 things that we should do in our blog. We should set up our Google Analytics. We should write our SEO title and description on all pages, and we should link our site to Google Search Console, and our site should be mobile friendly and it should load very, very fast, right? So these are 5 things. We're going to go through them one by one. The first thing I'm going to go is setting up Google Analytics for our blog.